Up next on Good Taste, hope you're hungry. Barbecue from one of the best is on the table.
You eat some of the best barbecue you'll ever have in the country.
And this talented chef is sharing his secrets.
Everybody knows that, yeah. Well,
He just
so,
gave away a very cool
but-
secret. Then, meet the champion pitmaster serving up juicy barbecue and a famous cheesy Tater Tot Casserole.
They're done. You can hold them down, and they're going to make a C for you.
Plus, we'll take you to Austin, where East Side barbecue is finger-licking good.
yeah, that's good. That's real good.
Grab a napkin. Good Taste Barbecue Roundup begins right now. Hi everyone, welcome to Good Taste. I'm Tanji Patton. Each week we graze the state for the best eats in Texas. Today, it's a barbecue bonanza. We've fired up the grill and gathered a trio of some of the top pitmasters from across the state. Our first stop, Killens BBQ, where the talented chef and owner shares his best brisket tips and the recipe to one of the most popular dishes on the menu. So take a seat. Everybody else has got to wait in line. So you've been in line how long?
That's a good question. Probably about 45 minutes.
An hour before the doors open, and already the line is long for a chance to try some of the best barbecue you'll find in the state of Texas. Outside and inside, the energy is contagious. As a journalist, I've worked in restaurants across the country and have never seen so much excitement, so much anticipation for a chance to experience a meal. After all, most here believe they're about to taste the best barbecue they've ever had. Who wouldn't be excited?
Hey, came all the way from Colorado to get this split.
You can smell it. You get a nice beer while you're waiting. Time goes pretty fast. And then you eat some of the best barbecue you'll ever have in the country.
Something very humbling to the modest owner and talented chef at Killens BBQ, Ronnie Killen.
It doesn't matter how tired you are. You can be working 16 hours before you even open up, and just, seeing the people waiting in line for your barbecue, it's like an adrenaline rush. You can't be tired when people are out there waiting for you.
Once inside, hungry customers make their way down the cafeteria-style line where the mouth-watering ribs, giant links of sausage, and moist brisket are finally in sight.
We'll cook 150 racks of pork ribs. We cook anywhere from 50 to 100 briskets a day. We cook pork belly, we cook pork butt. We make our own sausage every morning, so it's like we cook a lot.
Killen serves 3 house-made sauces on the side, tangy, sweet, and my favorite, a coffee sauce.
The coffee sauce is kind of like the Cabernet or the Shiraz to a ribeye.
I couldn't wait for my chance to try one of those mouth-watering, ginormous ribs. Check this out. Here we go. That is fork tender good. Oh my gosh. Killen's creme brulee bread pudding is just about as famous as this chef. Food and Wine magazine called it one of the top 10 dishes in the country. Oh, that is so good. Rich, cinnamony, buttery. But that's not all that's good here. Definitely make room on your tray for their very popular barbecue beans, cooked low and slow with ingredients like molasses, brown sugar, and cayenne pepper.
To me, barbecue is all about sweet, spicy, smoky, where you have all those flavors that come together.
Talk about a goldmine of information. While we were in the kitchen, Killen also gave us a few tips on how they prepare that juicy, moist brisket he's known for.
When you're cutting brisket, you want to take a knife, and I'll try to use as sharp a knife as possible because you want to cut that off.
After it's trimmed, he starts with good old-fashioned mustard.
Mustard is actually acid, so the acid helps tenderize one, but it also makes it where the seasonings and everything are pliable. So when you move it, or you move it, you know, you're moving it from pit, it doesn't crack off and fall off.
And for seasoning,
This is a cherry pepper. We'll put this on first and put a really good, generous coating of it. This is basically chipotle powder, lemon pepper. It has salt in it, a little more pepper, cayenne pepper, and that's really about it.
now you can make that at home or you can buy it. I assume you buy it here, but HEB has it as well.
HEB has it also.
Time for the pits now, where these beauties cook, you guessed it, low and slow.
Temperature, you know, we usually cook in between 225 and 250.
A little secret revealed here. These aren't your ordinary pits.
It has a little NASA in it also, which nobody knows, but
Has a little what?
NASA, we have a NASA tile that's in it from the space shuttle.
That's right. A little NASA space technology is hidden inside, so that half of this giant pit can operate at one temperature and the other half can cook meats at a totally different temperature.
We actually sandwiched a plate in between a piece of the space shuttle tile and have that, you know, there.
I've got a little bit of news for you. Everybody knows now.
Everybody knows that, yeah.
That engineering genius behind the scenes is just one of the reasons folks from all over the country put Killens on their to-do list.
This is my second time. I'm actually from the Bay Area.
No doubt they'll be back again, because doing things right is what Ronnie Killen is known for. His fine dining restaurant, Killens Steakhouse, continues to win awards, but I got the impression he's partial to the laid-back style of barbecue.
To me, it was about family time. It was about things, you know, family get-togethers that people barbecued, and really that's just, you know, trying to make memories for people in this generation. And
That's a manly bite.
yeah.
So if you're in the hunt for great barbecue, like Ronnie's friend and frequent customer J.J. Watt, you're in the right place here at Killens. Now, from H-Town to Austin, where a funky food truck has barbecue lovers lining up for more.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
But next, the cheesy Tater Tot Casserole, an award-winning barbecue that's turning heads in the Hill Country.
Not Texan if it's not wrapped in bacon.
Absolutely, of course. We'll save you a seat at our table. We'll be right back. Good things come from Cisco. Welcome back. You're in for a treat. An award-winning pitmaster shares his secrets for his juicy, tender brisket and a recipe for his famous cheesy Tater Tot Casserole. It's all good barbecue here. Such a simple process. Cooking meat with fire. But any true barbecue lover knows a lot of skill and a ton of finesse are required to create really good barbecue, like fork-tender briskets and lip-smacking ribs. You'll find both at It's All Good BBQ in Spicewood.
This is really, really good barbecue.
Melt in your mouth delicious, those tender slices of brisket, smoked overnight with beautiful bark and signature smoke ring, partnered with hearty homemade potato salad and Spicewood-style barbecue beans.
Nice, tender, cooked perfectly.
I had a rib, I had pulled pork, I had the brisket, and it was very good though.
The barbecue you'll eat here wins awards, big-time awards.
Now, you're not going to tell my cardiologist that I'm here, are you?
It's All Good BBQ is a small, simple spot in the Hill Country, a place that can boast big time about being a barbecue boss.
It's delicious.
The Pedernales sausage is porky perfection, spicy and smoked just right. A trio of true barbecue aficionados came together to create It's All Good BBQ. They regularly compete, and as you can see, they win. Co-owner Dan Harrington, aka the Rib King, jumped at the unexpected chance to find a job he loved.
I was recruited by an old man at a bar one night that I was managing. And,
True story?
A true story. And one day he just, out of the blue, he goes, Dan, you ever thought about owning your own barbecue restaurant?
So at 27 years old, Dan bought his first restaurant and started competing at barbecue events. He became friends with two fellow competitors, and they decided their award-winning barbecue was so good, they opened It's All Good BBQ.
I never got into it so much until I was invested into it, and now I can't stop.
He says winning that first prize for first place reeled him in.
I went through ribs and I didn't place, which was heartbreaking for a rib king. So we got down to the very last thing, which is your brisket, and that's what everyone judges you on, is your brisket. And we got down to first place and my ticket was called and I lost.
Wow.
I lost. It's like winning the lottery. You won first place in brisket. That is an achievement in Texas barbecue. And I've been hooked ever since.
Some secrets he'll share. Some, well, he won't. And you have a secret rub?
Oh yeah, we definitely have a secret rub. You can't have that one.
Okay, so we're not getting that one. I didn't think we would. For example, It's All Good BBQ does wrap its brisket in foil right after it comes out of the smoker to keep the bark moist.
It's all about experience. You've got to learn the touch and the feel.
The goal? The truffle shuffle.
That's when everybody knows good. You can jiggle it like that.
And when it comes to tender ribs,
And that's called a C test. If they're done, you can hold them down and they're going to make a C for you. If you're getting that small little split up here, that's whenever you know that baby's ready to go. That meat, whenever you bite into it.
since it's all good here, you don't want to miss the sides, like the 3-cheese mac and cheese made with cheddar, easy melt, and smoked Gouda. There's a delicious creamed corn and a tangy coleslaw with just the right amount of pucker. My favorite, the stuffed jalapenos.
Today we're going to be stuffing them with a little bit of brisket and cream cheese.
An oyster knife quickly removes the seeds and ribs, then mixes the cream cheese and brisket together by hand.
You want to cap off your end so that stuffing doesn't come out.
There's a little knack to this. An hour in the smoker. Whoa! The most popular side is the Tater Tot Casserole.
Always the Tater Tot Casserole, that's my favorite thing here.
This casserole combines cream of chicken soup, lots of butter, sour cream, and a hearty helping of cheddar cheese.
I like to get dirty with it.
Okay.
Let's get our hands dirty.
Oh man, get rid of your carb diet. It is good.
Oh yeah.
It's all good, just like the name says. Okay, now time to find out how to make those delicious Killens BBQ beans. And I am with my expert, Chef Belinda, HEB Cooking Connection, who always has great ways to take a complicated recipe, make it really easy for our own kitchen, right?
Of course, simple. We're going to use some classic HEB items. We're going to use the Better Than Good moppin sauce for some of the flavor. We're going to use the hickory house rub from Adams Reserve for that Texas smoke, and the Better Than Good traditional Texas barbecue sauce.
Yeah, so if you saw the Killens, you know that he spends hours on these beans, and the flavor result is fantastic. We don't have to spend hours.
No, no, no. Very quick and simple, Tanji.
Let's do it.
All right, you've got your beans in there. I have some sauteed onion, the Adams Reserve hickory house rub going in here in the bowl. You're also going to put in the brown sugar. There's a nice drizzle of molasses for flavor. Here's the traditional barbecue sauce from Better Than Good. And then also you're using the nice little hint of mustard in the moppin sauce. We're going to stir this all together, get everything all nice and mixed up together. This is going to go in a classic old-fashioned cast iron skillet, and we're going to top it with the jalapenos and bake this off in the oven. All right, Tanji, here you go. Here is your quick HEB version of the famous Killens barbecued beans.
So good. We've got the recipe online, goodtaste.tv. Thank you. Coming up, I'll show you the wines, my wine finds of the week. But first, barbecue's so good, it's worth a wait. A long wait in line.
I've been just contemplating it for while I'm eating it very deeply. It's really peppery and savory and delicious.
We're saving you a place. We'll be right back. Good Taste with Tanji is brought to you in part by HEB.
Quarter-pound of brisket.
Quarter-pound of brisket?
Half-pound of brisket, quarter turkey.
Folks routinely line up for the fixins at this funky barbecue joint on Austin's East Side. This tiny trailer puts out some tasty treasures. Giant finger-licking ribs, homemade sausage, and the juiciest of briskets.
It's the best in town.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
La Barbecue's magic begins here, in what barbecue fanatics might call hallowed ground. Large smokers designed by the one and only Franklin Barbecue's legendary pitmaster, John Lewis. Dylan Taylor tells me he was schooled by the best and works on his craft every day. So tell me about your briskets.
So these are about 2 to 3 hours in. These will go for about 14 to 16 hours. Right now we're just kind of setting the rub on these, so we're cooking a little bit lower, a little bit more smoky, and we're gonna get a nice smoke on them, and then we're gonna kind of gradually raise up the temperature as the cook goes on.
To get a more smoky flavor, Dylan says, take it slow and keep the temperature low longer.
Brisket only takes smoke for like the earlier part of the cook when it's at a certain temperature. After that, after it passes that temperature, it really doesn't take any smoke.
Really? So there's only so much it's going to take in anyway.
Exactly, but you can prolong that period and get more smoke underneath. There's a lot of little like tips and tricks.
Okay.
One of the trademarks of La Barbecue's brisket is its crispy bark. Okay, so Dylan, tell us about the popular rub on this, the top secret rub.
Okay, it's actually not too secret actually. It's 16 mesh black pepper, kosher salt, and then a little bit of garlic granules, not powder. You want like a more kind of, for the Central Texas style, we use a lot more like coarse ingredients in our rubs to get like that nice kind of like rigid bark on the brisket.
Lots of people are taking notes on that.
Yeah, I know, right? Don't try it at home.
Folks from around the world line up for a taste, and their companions wait patiently for their share. Sometimes not so patiently.
I'm from Los Angeles, and I flew out to Austin to just have a vacation, and ended up here at La Barbecue, which was a must on my list. It's really peppery and savory and delicious. You kind of got to try a little of everything.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Then can I have it?
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's good. That's real good.
The frito loco. Frito loco, cool.
La Barbecue also stacks up in the sandwich and slaw department with something for everyone. So as pitmaster, what's your favorite thing? If you were coming to order, what do you recommend?
Turkey. No, I'm just kidding. Brisket.
I got Dylan to dish on a few more brisket basics. So what are the most common mistakes we make when we smoke our own at home?
Oh man, there's a long list for that. But you know, you could maybe cook it too long, not cooking it hot enough, maybe cooking it like too hot, you know?
Yeah.
It all depends on your smoker as well.
What temperature do you like to cook at?
Depending on the smoker, like on my home smoker, it's a bit smaller, so I usually hover around 250 to 275.
Whether you love lean or moist, knowing when it's done is a big deal.
This is what we call the pull test, and you can just kind of pull it together with the slightest ease.
So you want it to pull apart?
Yeah, exactly, but you don't want it to be like falling apart, because then that's overcooked.
Look for plump, juicy ribbons of fat in between the grain.
This graining is still like has some structural integrity to it.
Right.
That's really what you're looking for.
And that smoke ring, that's a badge of honor. But what really counts is the taste.
I won't fill you up too bad, but there you go.
Oh, come on, I won't complain.
I know, right? There you go.
This is lean.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredibly tender too.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
John Lewis taught me a thing or two, I guess.
Man, you're not kidding. Well, you learned with some of the best of the best.
Yeah, and there's a little bite of fatty too if you want to try all three.
Carnivores rejoice.
Hell yeah.
Time for my wine finds of the week, and folks will tell you that we like to brag in Texas, and they'd be absolutely right. We do, and we're bragging about Texas wines today, and I've got some of my favorite finds to show you right now. But first, I'm going to start with what some say is the healthiest varietal of red wine, a Tanat. Originally a southern France wine, it's now being produced in Texas by a winery that I've been a fan of since the day they opened, Bending Branch Winery. It's not too far from Comfort. Tanats are big, luscious red wines. They do have tannins, a lot of big red fruits, some blackberries, plums. Tanats pair beautifully with all kinds of meats, big steaks, roasted meats, so fire up the grill. Okay, next, A wine from Lubbock, Red Raider Land. This is Llano Estacado. This is one of the most well-respected, probably one of the most awarded wine producers in Texas. This is their Harvest Reserve Malbec. It's a beautiful wine. Malbecs are fun red wines. They too are great grill wines, great steak wines, and they finish with some nice spice. So the Harvest Reserve Malbec, and it's priced at just under $18 a bottle. Okay. Last but certainly not least, a longtime Texas winemaker, and this too is one of the most respected winemakers in the state, one of the pioneers for Texas wine, Becker Vineyards. This is their Viognier. This wine has won some incredible awards, including one in France. The Viogniers are a fuller-bodied white wine. You get a lot of flowers on the nose, and on the palate, just luscious fruit, peaches, apricots. Beautiful wine. This one is priced at just under $12. All of these wines I found, as usual, at my HEB.
Keep your seat at the table. When we come back, I'll tell you how you could win a relaxing weekend at the beautiful Houstonian Hotel. How about a weekend away, complete with spa treatments? Here's how you could win.
Head to goodtaste.tv right now and sign up for a chance to win a luxurious weekend at the Houstonian, complete with spa treatments for you and a guest at the beautiful, award-winning Trellis Spa.
That's all our time for this week. Thanks so much for joining us. Till next time, everyone, cheers to good taste.